6-3, nth roots and rational exponents. How can I find the nth root of a number? All right, the square root. The square root and squaring of a number. Yes. The nth root. So it could be the third root, the fourth root, the fifth root, the sixth root. We don't know. It's just a number. All right, the square root and squaring of a number are inverse operations. So the squaring of a number and the square root are inverse operations. What's wrong? The two kids next to you? True.
I'm not.
All right, carrying on. There's much more important things than that. All right. For any real numbers A and B and any positive integer n, if A is raised to the n equals B, then A is an root, that shouldn't be an, hold on, then A is an nth, that's an n, A is an nth root of B, and I'll try and make that make sense here in a second. For any real numbers A and B, so if we have A raised to the n equals B, that's what it's saying. So which I wrote that here, I'm just writing it again. So if any real number is A raised to the n equals B, n is a nth root of B, that's all it's saying. So for example, let's say we had 2 raised to the 6th power equals 64. The 6th root of 64 would be 2. That's all it's saying. It's a really complicated way of writing not a lot. It is, but I don't know. Also, what's stupid is they use non-negative. What would be a better word to use than non-negative? How about positive? Yes, we'll get there though. We're not there yet. If there is more than one real root, the non-negative, also known as, I'm going to put in parentheses, positive root is called the principal root. This one makes a lot more sense than that other thing that we wrote. Not according to the textbook. Yeah, PLE. Well, I think this kind of principal is like the leader of a school, like Mr. Hernandez, or the primary. So, for example, if I had the square root of 16, what is the square root of 16? You're half right. Plus or minus 4, correct? The positive for the principal root is positive 4. So even though there's two roots, the main or principal root is positive 4. All right, if I have n root 36, the n is called the index. The little square root symbol, does anyone know what that's called? Is called the radical. Do you know what the actual number is called? Radicand. Radicand. So we have an index, a radical, and a radicand. Cand. C-A-N-D. Not exactly. All right, this one has an index even though we don't see it. Much like, is that 9 positive or negative? It's positive even though you don't see the plus sign in front of it, right? Because it's implied. Well, if there's nothing here, it's implied it's a 2, which would make it a square root. So this is a square root. Because what they're looking for is what number times itself equals 9. We can have a cubed root. So our index is actually 3. So that would be a cubed root. Thank you very much. All right, so cubed root. So what that means is what number times the same number times itself 3 times equals 27. Can we go bigger than that?
Yeah.
We can do whatever number we want. But if we did a 4, that would be just called the fourth root. After a cubed root, or actually it should just be cubed, not cubed. I don't know what I was thinking. I had a brain cramp. It's a cube root, not a cubed root. I'm making stuff up. Sorry. I'm sorry, what? I can't hear you. One more time, JoJo. Don't get mad. Are you sure? I don't mind. Allison, can you translate for her, please? That's a 3. That's a 4. 81. It's 81. All right, so this would just be called the fourth root. So x times x times x times x equals 81. What number times itself 4 times equals 81? That's all it's asking. Yes, it would be 3. All of those would be 3, by the way. All right, turn the page, please. Well, then don't turn the page. All right, odd roots have one unique answer / root. And what I mean by that is if I have the cube root of 8, what times what equals 8? 2. It has to be positive 2, though. Why can't it be negative 2? You are exactly correct. This is an odd root. So if I had the third root of, or the cubed root of negative 8, notice a negative is allowed if it's odd. So that would be what? No? You're close. Negative 2. Because negative 2 times negative 2 is 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. No, that's only if it's even. 3, the 3. The 3, your index. Odd roots. I'm sorry, I should have wrote that. Odd roots. What? What do you mean? We're not that far yet. We're currently on odd roots, not even roots. So right now we're going to do even roots. Here you go, Jonah, just for you. Have 2 answers / roots, and it can be plus or minus. For example, the square root of 16 can be plus or minus 4. But like Jonah said, if it was negative 16, it would be plus or minus 4i, correct? So we'll write that too. Square root of negative 16 is plus or minus 4i. Because we're actually going to do that again later. Yes. All right, let's try some actual math problems. Example 1. Grab your calculator, please. Yep, I'm going to. Well, you're not going to be able to see it there. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit second. And remember at the beginning of the lesson, I said the inverse of squaring is square root. So right under the square key, which is next to 7, is the square root. So please hit second and x squared to get to square root. You should have a flashing square root sign. And now 196. Okay. Okay.
Hit the square root twice.
No, hit second, the green key, and then hit the x squared.
Oh.
That'll get you to square root. Hit enter, and you get 14. So, the square root of 196 is 14. Actually, can it be plus or minus 14?
Yeah.
And then, now this is a little bit different when you deal with exponents. My index is 2, correct? So I'm just going to divide this by 2. What is 4 divided by 2? That's your final answer. Plus or minus 14x squared. All right, let's try another one. This is a b. That's not a variable. This is actually number b. Letter B. Shut it. All right, 343, A18, B6. A18, B6. It's like we're playing bingo. All right, so this is the one's a little bit different on your calculator. You're going to hit the number 3, so you should have the number 3 on there. Now, if you look right above the button that we push to get to the square root, it says x root. Do you see that? So hit second and then that little up arrow. And now you have cube roots. 3, 4, 3. Enter. So the cube root of 343 is 7. Now, can this be negative 7? No, because that would give us negative 343. So 7. What is 18 divided by 3? 18 divided by 3 is 6. What is 6 divided by 3? That is your final answer. All right, the fourth root of 81, x to the 8th. So try it, and we'll go over it in just a minute. All right, so you're going to put in 4, shift, up arrow, 81 is 3. Now this one's an even index, correct? So we need plus or minus 3, and what's 8 divided by 4? That's your final answer. You can get it half wrong. Because if you go back here, this is a 2 there, even though we don't see it, right? 2 is even. So I can do 4 times 4 is 16. Negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. So if it's even, you have a plus or minus. Whereas like on this one here, it's a negative 8. So this is a 3. I only have one answer because you're multiplying it by itself 3 times. I have a feeling that did no good explaining it. All right. This one's special. You said it, not me. It's a 6. So this is a 6th root. Now this one's special, like I said. This is even, so are we allowed to have a negative underneath it? What does that negative turn into? So proud right now. Abby, I don't think I changed your grade yesterday. All right, remind me when we're done and I will. If you put in the negative, it's going to tell you domain error.
Wait, can you, Mr. Kitty?
Yes, Liam.
So, is it plus or minus odd or just plus?
Oh, it is plus or minus.
It is plus
Because this is even, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we can't use a negative because it's going to tell us there's an error. So we're going to do 6, shift, or second, up arrow to get the 6th root of 64, and that is 2. So our answer is going to be plus or minus 2a, but we're missing something. IA. Plus or minus 2ia. Yes, I heard my name. Yes. Not right now. We're almost done, actually. All right, let's continue on. We'll be done in we'll be done by 8:50, which is 8 minutes. So you'll have 14 minutes to yourself today. All right, rational. What's the root word of rational? It is not rat. It is not shun. Ratio, which in math land, ratio means a fraction. Good job. Rational exponents. Yes. exponents. The index of a radical is equal to the denominator of a rational, remember rational means fraction. Someone told me before that the root word of linear is ear.
Oh yeah. We're better than usual.
All right, so a rational exponent. So exponent's a power, correct? It's a raised thing.
Yeah.
So in radical form, we could write the square root of 9 as the square root of 9. Remember, there's a 2 there even though we don't see it, and a 1 there even though we don't see it. So that's in radical form. We can also write this in exponential form. Exponential form, which would be the index is your denominator. So 9 to the 1/2 is the same as the square root of 9. And honestly, that's the way I remember this. The square root of 9 is the same as 9 to the 1/2. That's a 2, so 1 over 2. This is your denominator, 9 to the 1/2. In your calculators right now, yes, the 2 came from your index is 2, the 1 came from your exponent is 1. So in your calculator right now, hit second x squared 9. That's in radical form, and what does it tell you your answer is? So now, go 9, hit the up arrow. So 9 up arrow, 1 divided by 2, and what is our answer? Because you're doing the same exact operation, just written. To the 1/2. 9 raised to the 1/2. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. All right, the little up arrow there, the little caret, the up arrow right there. Then 1 divided by 2. So these are equivalent operations. These are the exact same thing written in different ways. Probably. I'm not that concerned about that right this second. All right, we have 4 problems left, then we're done. We can do this. I have faith in myself.
A minute a problem.
Yep. Write each expression in radical form. So x to the 2/3. X to the 2/3. 3 is my index. So what root is this? Cube root. So cube root of x squared. There you go. That's your final answer. I thought you didn't want homework tonight.
Well, wait, hold on. Yes, we don't want homework, but if there was homework, it's these questions.
81 to the 3/2. So what's my index? Do I need to write the 2? You can if you want, but you don't have to. The square root of 81 cubed.
When you get it there, discover simplify.
Yeah. What is a cube root of 81 squared? Let's find out. All right, so 81 up arrow or caret 3 divided by 2 is 729. Liam asked me to, so I did. You do, yes. because Liam sets up.
Thanks a lot.
Look, it's the same way both ways. Because what's the square root of 81? Try again. So what's 9 cubed? 729. All right, we're down to 2 minutes. Here we go. Last two problems for today. Example 3. Write each expression in exponential form. Oh, 1 minute left. Right faster. The cube root of x raised to the 6th power. Remember, the index is your denominator. So this is going to be x to the 6 over 3. Does that reduce? 6 divided by 3 is 2. Six over 3. Yep, because the 3 is your denominator, the x is your or the 6 is your numerator. 6 divided by 3 is 2. How about if it was 3 over 6? Would we reduce that? Yes, we would. All right, last problem. 5th root of 3x squared. What's the exponent on the 3, even though we don't see it? 1. So remember, the index is your denominator. So 3 to the 1/5, x to the 2/5. And it is 8:50. We are done.
Is it separate from every time?
Yes. All right, there is no assignment for today. We're going to let that sink in and revisit it tomorrow.